Hello folks, the Culting Nerd here, bringing you another nerdy video. And we are here with the finale of Assassin's Creed Unity's core story. We have just finished Sequence 12 Memory Tree, and all that's left now
is the creed of the
ending
Assassin
cutscenes.
Brotherhood teaches us that nothing is forbidden to us. Once, I thought that meant we were free to do as we would, to pursue our ideals no matter the cost. I understand now. Not a grant of permission, the creed is a warning. Ideals too easily give way to dogma. Dogma becomes fanaticism. No higher power sits in judgment of us. No supreme being watches to punish us for our sins. In the end, only we ourselves can guard against our obsessions. Only we can decide whether the road we walk carries too high a toll. We believe ourselves redeemers, avengers, saviors. We make war on those who oppose us, and they in turn make war on us. We dream of leaving our stamp upon the world. Even as we give our lives in a conflict that will be recorded in no history book. All that we do, all that we are, begins and ends with ourselves.
Now, as per usual, folks, we are going to sit through the credits because, again, these are all the people that worked so hard on the game.
My God,
that we just
I
played.
don't believe what I'm seeing. I won this fight 2 centuries before it started. Well done, kid. I don't think Abstergo will bother searching the catacombs for Germain's body. The bones are going to be too damaged, too decayed. We're in the clear at this stage. You did good work, Initiate. Until we contact you again, the best you can do is continue searching Arno's memories for anything else he might have seen, like rare historical data, more DNA samples, anything to help our cause. We'll be in touch when we need you. Count on it.
The other thing that is, like, all that's left now is the expansion pack for this game, which is pretty ironic because in our Dragon Age at the time of this recording, our Dragon Age Origins is just about to launch into the expansion pack Dragon Age Origins Awakening. So it is pretty ironic that, like, very soon I'll be recording both expansions of 2 different games. Now, about Assassin's Creed Unity. What can I say about it? I'm just going to turn down the game's audio just a teeny bit. There we go. So that way you guys can hear me. Alright, what can I say about Assassin's Creed Unity? Has by far one of the most, like, okay, not so far. I'm going to say this as a more as an affinitive. Now, I have not played Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I am aware Assassin's Creed Shadow has showcased some of its parkour system, but of all the Assassin's Creed games that I have played, Assassin's Creed Unity has by far the most satisfying parkour system. It is very satisfying, scaling the rooftops of Paris, either going down or up. It is far less, has caused me far less issues than obviously past Assassin's Creed games. Combat is also very satisfying. I do wish they would have given us a few more execution, like finishers, because the finishers do get a little repetitive if you're using the same weapon throughout the entire game. I loved how, like, the way they introduced the RPG mechanics. Are you going in loud? Are you going in stealthy? Are you going to be ranged? Are you going to be melee? Are you going to be heavy melee? Or are you going to be, there's a lot of combinations. And again, me and my friends used to play some of the co-op missions together, and we would actually have, coordinated, loadouts. Designs. Absolutely amazing. Level design layouts are absolutely amazing, and they're fun. The outfits of Arno are also very satisfying. They look fucking-tastic. The music, amazing, well done. The cinematography is also amazing. I love how it they went with the classic raining on a rooftop battle between you and your mentor. Absolutely, that was fantastic. My one gripe I will sort of have is we don't get an explanation on how does Arno rejoin the assassins. We're given his master assassin outfit, but we're not told how he rejoined the assassins. I think it would have been nice if we got a cutscene of Arno rejoining. What else can I say? Oh, I liked the murder mysteries. That was really fun. It ties into pretty much like the way Arno uses Eagle Vision. I thought that was fantastic. The murder mysteries were amazing. The riddles were a bit of a hit and miss with me. I was able to figure out some of them, but there was this one, the grain and sun type of thing, the cage. I guess unless you actually know the history of Paris, you wouldn't know some of the stuff. So the murder mysteries were a bit of a hit and miss with me. The Paris City stories were fantastic. The co-op missions were actually quite good. I had to solo them after leveling up quite a bit, but they were fun. I will also say that there's a lot of busybody stuff in this game, like the companion missions, that the rifts. They're handy for earning some quick florins, but they are absolutely uninteresting. The rifts were, now the story mission rifts were quite interesting. I liked having to scale the Eiffel Tower. I enjoyed having to scale an in progress Statue of Liberty, the Bastille. All that was fantastic. I actually really enjoyed that. But the other rifts that were scattered throughout the map, very uninteresting. The collecting of the cockades, I believe they're called. Not a fan of that. It was, I know it's very similar to having to collect the feathers of the earlier Assassin's Creed games, but all you got from collecting them was colors for your outfits. not the best rewards. The collecting of the like the crests, very boring as well. I didn't see the point of it. Like, it wasn't even introduced in any way in accordance to the story. Neither of collectibles were, and the coat of arms were not even unique. It would have been cool if there was a room in the cafe where you could see each crest of arms, and maybe it told you about, like, maybe a famous family of Paris history, so, or French history, or at the very least. So that would have been interesting. What else? Other than that, that's my only real gripes with the game, actually. Like I said, the Paris City stories were fun. The murder mysteries, definitely fun. The core games missions were fun. The co-op missions were fun. Now, I didn't tackle the heists because of, like, and here's another thing. Once you upgrade the cafe to a certain point, you really don't need the busybody work. You don't need to do the companion missions where you assassinate or steal from a target to earn money. You don't need the heists either, because the cafe earns money, like, as much money passively. So you would only really do them to be completionists. They don't tell a story. Now, the heist might tell a story. Keep that in mind, that the heist might tell a story. But overall, everything else, not so much. Yeah, that's about it now. I've said everything I've said. Arno is by far, like, he is the most agile, in my opinion, of all the assassins. Without seeing Assassin's Creed Shadow and Assassin's Creed Mirage, I will say he's probably the most agile of them. In terms of the best fighter, I would still put the best fighter being Alexios / Cassandra, and actually, no, excluding them because they're technically not assassins. If we're talking just pure assassins, I would have to give it up to Ken Wei as one of the best fighters, because he's very unorthodox. And then after that, I would say, again, I never finished Valhalla, so I don't know if Eivor ever actually joins the Brotherhood. If they join the Brotherhood, I would say he could give Kenway a run for his money. But I will say, if in a battle royale situation, similar to the way the multiplayer worked in Assassin's Creed 2 and 3, I would, and Black Flag, I would say Arno could be a finalist just because of his agility, and I believe he would be high up there in terms of stealth, similar to Altair and Ezio. And Evie. I would definitely put Evie up there as well in terms of stealth. Alright, okay, we still have a bit more of the credits to go. And I've pretty much said all I can say. We have the next expansion. As I said, we have the expansion next. It is almost time for my D&D game, so unfortunately I probably won't be starting that today, due to the fact that, like, I will probably want to add some level of commentary to the start of that. Luckily enough, that's not too big of a game. So, one of the things I definitely have to do tonight is start installing the next Assassin's Creed game, which I believe is gonna be Syndicate. Pretty sure Syndicate is next. Now that is going to be also quite long. That has a lot of stuff as well. Let's see, Assassin's Creed. Just going to quickly double check here. Here we go. Narratively, chronological order of Assassin's Creed. So yeah, I was right. We are going to be heading into Assassin's Creed Syndicate next. Oh, I forgot about Connor. Actually, yeah. Connor would be up there in terms of agility, in my opinion, to rival Arno. And I suppose, like, also his the ferocity that Connor fights with as well. So yeah, like in terms of assassins, like the top fighters in my opinion are Edward, Connor, and if they join the Brotherhood, Eivor. Again, I have to exclude Bayek, and actually, technically, Bayek is an assassin. I believe he is a member of the Hidden Ones, the precursors to the Assassin Brotherhood. So, yeah. Like, see, because both Eivor and Edward would have the unpracticality of their fighting styles, but also Connor has his own level of ferocity, and but then Bayek has, like, he may not be as, like, he is training, and he does like to fight with his signature fighting style is sword and shield. So yeah, he will definitely be well suited defensively. Yeah. I think... No, see... A part of me wants to say Bayek would win flat out, because, like, he's a skilled fighter, and with his signature fighting style of shield and sword, he has defense well covered. But again, Kenway's not afraid to fight dirty, so, and Kenway's signature fighting style is dual wielding cutlasses, and he has the firepower with the 6 pistols. So and Kenway seems to also be a skilled marksman. So I would actually, yeah, you know what? I would actually have to give it up to Kenway in a flat out fight, like battle royale style. If caught out in the open, he would win, because with his marksmanship and the fact that his default signature gear is twin cutlasses and 6 pistols, he will be able to, like, even if Bayek and the others were to, even with Bayek's shield, like, I don't know if that I don't know if that shield could deflect a bullet, you know. And we've seen Edward clear out a deck of a galleon very quickly with those pistols. So and assuming that you know they're at their strongest, that would also mean Kenway has that ring. No, that'd be Connor. So Connor would be able to maybe stand up to. Oh yeah. Because of Connor's and Kenway's respective pieces of Eden, or at least Isu tech, it will come down to a straight up slugfest. Because the arrows of Eivor and Bayek would be rendered useless due to the fact that Connor's ring and Edward's armor. Because again, this is assuming that they've completed everything in the game and they have their best gear. That would mean Connor found the ring, which would protect him from small arms fire, which does include muskets. So therefore, Kenway's pistols would be potentially rendered useless, but so would Connor's guns, and because Edward has technically a superior version now, his one would work on mass fire of musket fire. So yeah, it would come down purely to their skills in melee. Connor would be now again they would start off with their signature gear. So for Connor, it would be his tomahawk and hidden dagger, which is detachable, so he has a bit of flexibility with how he holds it. Edward would have his twin cutlasses. Bayek would probably have a Khopesh and his shield, and Eivor would probably, I'm going to say Eivor's signature weapon is definitely an axe. Oh, an axe and shield, the Raven clan axe and shield, because I'm pretty sure you get them very early in the game. So yeah, we have two combatants whose default melee gear involves a shield. So I don't know if Eivor gets any if Eivor is guaranteed any special equipment by the time they finish Valhalla. Bayek is not guaranteed anything either, because that's when they really dove into the RPG stuff. So, and again, it's the reason why I'm not considering, I would consider Alexios and Cassandra having their Spear of Leonidas piece of Eden, which apparently includes like semi-time dilation stuff. So, but they're not, again, I'm not sure if they actually ever joined the Brotherhood. Which I have thoughts on, by the way, for when we get to the end of Odyssey. It's hard to consider Eivor because things. I'm gonna give it to... yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Kenway. Because we know that Connor can get a little reckless in his fights. Like, we've seen that he's canonically gotten himself trapped and injured. Like, very badly in his pursuits. So... now, mind you, we've seen him also push through a lot of shit. Actually, oh yeah, because there's that whole sequence where Connor is literally has a very bad wound, but he does not give up, and he pursues. Was it Charles Lee, like across the Connollys. So yeah. Connor's a tough bastard, but that toughness though, like to the recklessness. You know what, Kenway, because I'm gonna give up to Kenway because start of the fight, Edward with his twin cutlasses, Edward with his Mayan armor and 6 pistols, Connor with his tomahawk and dagger, 2 pistols, and then Bayek with his bow and arrow, shield and sword, and then Eivor with axe and shield with a bow and arrow. Again, I'm until I know otherwise. The way I would see it play out is like Connor and Edward could quickly take out the others, while probably like Edward will probably clean house very quickly with his pistols, and Connor probably takes out one other person. But then they both then fire a shot at one another. And the ring and the Mayan armor protect their respective users, which then boils down to them fighting. Both of them are technically dual wielders. But like they're having at it. But then Connor would do something that's very underhanded. He would probably at some point would kick Connor in the balls or something like that. I don't know. He would throw mud in his eye. He would do something to give himself that edge. And the 2 cutlasses gives him reach and for a barrage of attacks. Connor would be more agile, so he would have to rely on ducking in and out of those attacks. But yeah, again, as soon as like I yeah. And again, I'm not bringing up their other gear because they each have something that will counteract it. For example, if Connor tried to use his rope dart or is bow and arrows. Like the armor would take care of it, and the same for the ring for the blow dart from Kenway. Oh, here we are. We're gonna do one last thing before we call this video over, and that is go through these letters.
Paris, September 23rd, 1788. Dear Arno, I never thought I could be so bored in Paris. Can you imagine it? The greatest city in the world, and here I am, stuck in endless lectures from dawn to dusk. It's worse than that winter we spent in Strasbourg. Do you remember? When it snowed for a week straight, and we couldn't leave the house, and all the books in the library were in German. We convinced that cook the house was haunted by some young Frankish prince, and the poor man refused to leave his kitchen without a rosary in one hand and a Bible in the other. I miss those days. The things I'm learning from Father's friends are... well, I wish I could tell you about them. Someday, perhaps. But not now. And not like this. But still, I find myself missing those days. Missing home. Missing you. Next time Father comes to Paris, you must persuade him to bring you along. I remain always your Elise. Dear Arno, I confess I'm not entirely sure what to say here. It was good to see you again. Somehow rings hollow. An empty space unfit to contain the totality of my feelings. And yet I am pleased. Pleased that the assassins have not changed you completely. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You never were one to be easily awed. It seems we have both found ourselves at an impasse in the hunt for my father's killer. Perhaps together, we can accomplish what neither of us could alone. It's nice to think that after all this time, we're still better together than apart. Yours, Elise. Dearest... Oh, Arno. What have you done? I know we didn't part on the best of terms, but to go running to the assassins? My father kept you away from them for a reason. Their creed is like wine, sweet enough at first blush, and in moderation it makes life seem more bearable. But drink too deeply, and you find naught but madness and anarchy. No doubt they've already filled your mind with tales of how dreadful we Templars are, that we would make slaves of humanity and place our boots on the world's neck. You knew my father, and you know me. I can only pray that is enough to give the lie to those tales. My order has turned against me, and I am hunted by those I once called friend. I could not bear it if you turned against me also. Think of me, and be well. Elise. My love. Dearest Arno, I can barely conceive how much has changed in the last 3 years. How far our roads have taken us. Sometimes I feared our paths would diverge forever, or else come together at loggerheads like the star-crossed lovers in some hackneyed stage piece. Yet here we are. Not the same brash children we once were, nor yet strangers. When this is over, when Germain is dead at our feet and my father rests, who then will we be? Assassin mentor and Templar Grandmaster? The continuation of the old, or the beginning of something new? Will we shape the future of our world, or will we retire quietly to the countryside to raise goats? I can just see you, a goat herd, leaping and climbing about the Alps. No goat would have a chance of escaping you. I do not know what the next days, months, years will bring. All I know is that we shall remain Arno and Elise, and with that, I am content. My love, as I write this, you are asleep. If the light wakes you, I'll have some explaining to do. But at this moment, you are sleeping peacefully. Tomorrow is the day, it seems. The culmination of 5 long years. A moment of revenge. So why can I not quiet this part of me, which fears that, at the tipping point, you will flinch? Is it that I fear you loved my father less than I? Or do I doubt your resolve to strike the killing blow? I do not think so. Rather, I fear that you have lost so much already, that you cannot bear to lose more. I think that you would let Germain rule France if you thought it would save me. Have you ever known me to need saving? Have you ever had cause to think that I would accept it if it were offered? My fate is my own. My choice is my own. If somehow we both return from this, I will burn this letter. If you are reading it now, then I made my choice there in the temple. Know that I made it gladly, and do not take the burden of it onto yourself. Be at peace, my love, and walk what path you will. All my love, Elise.
Such a tragic end.
Arno and Elise.
Alright, and with that, we are done. All that's left is to end the video, folks. It's been a long journey with lots of mysteries and traversing the rooftops of Paris. I'm the Celtic Nerd, sign out. One name, one sky.